This past weekend, Wave Champions number 4 went down in Japan, and while it wasn't a major, Wave Champions number 4 was special in its own way. If you're not familiar with it, the Wave Champions Tournament Series is meant to decide the players of an invitational tournament that will be held at the end of the year, and only players who have won a Wave Champions tournament will be invited. The players invited so far, who won the previous iterations, were Neo, Omowatsu, Jagaimo, and I'm. And yeah, elephant in the room, I have no idea if Omowatsu is going to be allowed to attend or even would attend after what happened between him and Umeki, but he's still being advertised on the Twitter pages, so I'm just going to go off of what I have until I'm told something else. Either way, Wave Champions 4 happened this past weekend to decide the 5th player to be invited for the end of year event, and no, I'm not quite sure how that math pans out, but that doesn't matter. When the tournament kicked off, many people expected Taike, the first seed, to take the invitational spot for himself. But instead, the winner was someone else. Someone that has been on a dramatic rise recently, piloting a character that many have considered unviable for the majority of Ultimate's lifespan. Today, we'll be looking at Toriguri, the best Banjo in the world, going over his run and stunning victory at Wave Champions number 4. Toriguri came into the weekend as the 2nd seed, but at a tournament like this, with invitational spot on the line, 2nd place meant nothing. This tournament was winner takes all, and Toriguri came to win, starting off the weekend by getting through the first round, top 96, without dropping a single game, defeating Henimeni 3-0 and Nano 3-0. And yes, this tournament was all BO5, a rarity for Japanese tourneys, which usually run mostly BO3 in contrast to NA tourneys. Next, Toriguri moved into top 32, where they had 2 extremely close calls, which unfortunately were not streamed. First, Toriguri had a Game 5 set with Wada, the 18th seed and Japanese Bowser main. It would have been an amazingly huge upset for Wada to win here, but Toriguri managed to clutch out Game 5, moving on. Next, Toriguri had another Game 5 against Yuzu, one of my favorite Japanese up-and-comers who you should keep your eye on like I am. They made Rosalina and also use a lot of Min Min, and they made top 8 at this very tournament. They managed to bring Toriguri to a close Game 5, but Toriguri clutched it out in the end, making top 8 from winner's side. Here, Toriguri had to go up against Motsunabe, one of the front-runners in the fierce competition for Japan's best Falco, and one of the favorites to win the tournament. Motsunabe was the 3rd seed, and had just gone Game 5 in winner's quarters against Chicken, kinda like Toriguri did versus Yuzu, after Motsunabe's mostly dominant bracket run. With the two of them being extremely close in seeding, this set could have gone either way, and it was time for Toriguri to have their first stream set, fighting against Motsunabe in winner's semifinals.
ステージあるので、そこ嫌がったような形でしょうか。なるほどなるほど。これはコビーが勃発するときか。ここで当てきてベクトル変更まで。そうなんですよね。植木を当てるまでが本当にうまい。サビアボレ。面白い。さあ植木をが入っている。この波展開。さあ掴みであれば。こればかしが早い。さあお互い怖いところませんと、そこは空中に対してぶしまして反撃、背面からでも間に合うというさあ姿勢が低い、ここはいや見てる上がってきてたところあったんですが、対比上がりも見ている火力の横ですか。いや撃水競技は止まらないぞ、止まらないぞさすが発生10プレのそして今日もこの若い広げてダメね。いやこの位置はここから出てしまう形でしたが、ちょっと崖がさあここで形したところに横火ガード横火割り切れること分かっていた。そんな削れてたダメージの高さが着れたんですよ。そう追撃のアイテム投げ爆弾他かかるので、もう上から当てたら撃ですよ。だがそこがファルコビジョンいやギリギリ高い危ない。先ほど見えたようなバック決死が怖いがファルコがここ上から出せばでも空中しろおおこうあいや即横ビ即横ビ
And in the end, Toriguri defeated Motsunabe 3-1, moving into winners finals and sending Motsunabe down into losers, where he would lose to Japanese Kazuya and Puff co-main Setsu for a final placement of 5th as the 3rd seed. Toriguri next moved into winners finals, where he'd have to throw down against Taike. Taike was the 5th seed, and is probably Japan's 2nd best Sonic main, on Team Buzz, just like Nea. Taike had gone through bracket with multiple close call Game 5 sets, but eventually made it into winners semis, where Taike got a phenomenal win against Taike, the 1st seed, defeating him 3-1 to make winners finals versus Toriguri. And while I'm nowhere near a matchup expert, I can't imagine Banjo versus Sonic is even remotely favorable to Banjo. But Toriguri is a player who doesn't care about matchups, who doesn't care about how good their character is. Toriguri wanted to prove to everyone that Banjo and Kazooie was a viable character, and nothing could stop them.
ここで上手を打ってきました。バネを使ってタイミングを出しながら様子を伺うんですが、空中でトリグリ、空中にいるふっとし。さあ、彼の選手にされた。これは空中指導でとどめということで、これをとも最後は空中前のご提案に素晴らしい。これは先ほど難しい2つに突き出したんですが、というところラウンドワンサービング。これは7番が変わりますか。空中前で絶球。そしてリングを内側に向かっていって、さあ空中前をすることが190と92、自分のバックと分かって絶対に決めるんですが、さあ見るか。いやワンダーウィングから放っていくんですが、逆にこれは危ない。いや危ないところではなかった。一つなんで決めきってしまいました。フリー展開は今のためにさあ大選手のターンがあまりにも長い。終わらない。そこまで終わらないから駆け上がり、なんとか決まったんですが、おっとこれは完璧だな。その実力は何だったんでしょうか。
And in the end, Toriguri defeated Taike 3-1, moving into grand finals from winner's side and sending Taike down to loser's finals, where they would lose their next set for a final placement of third as the 5th seed. Who defeated them? You might have thought it was Takara or even Motsunabe again, but you'd be wrong. It was actually Chicken, Japan's second best Diddy Kong main and the 6th seed of the tourney. After they had lost to Motsunabe in winners' quarters, Chicken had defeated Yuzu 3-0 in losers' 8ths, Takara 3-1 in losers' quarters, Setsu 3-1 in losers' semis, and lastly Taike in a Game 5 set in losers' finals. Chicken had gone on an insane run, maybe the best of their career, and now they sought to add Toriguri to their list of victims and claim the invitational spot for themselves. But Toriguri had one thing that Chicken didn't, a higher purpose of proving the viability of a low-tier character.
ここでなるほどジャンプを使ってここで打球倍をこのタイミングで切ってくるとは。今日これは反転して1につなげていった。大上がりにスマッシュ合わせた。 これはワンダーウィング、最後の最後の一撃は相手のフックートを読み切ったジャストガードからの完璧なワンダーウィング一撃。
And in the end, Toriguri went down 3-2 in Grands, but managed to pull it back in a Game 9, winning the reset 3-1, becoming your winner of Wave Champions number 4. This tournament is Banjo and Kazooie's best tournament win ever, done years after their release by a determined character specialist. This character isn't good, by any means, but Toriguri proved this past weekend at Wave Champions number 4 that Banjo can do it. If you have a character that you love, don't give up on them because some list says they're not good. Keep grinding, because you can do it. That's going to be it for today's video. Before I go, shout out to my patrons, Seth Laster and Frostcold333, and my YouTube members Stormtrooper, Locosoko, Mattoon, Robopoke, Chavo, DTR Jr., my tier 2 members Mike G and IDK. Additionally, shout out gifted members Dane H, Zesta, Jake M, Redzuke, Interesting YouTube Observer, Undutiful86, Neil, Renario, Sal, Serix, Anna S, Call the Piplup, Spooks the Little Devil, Elib918, HSF, The Seraph, Hans, Neon Zitro, Uganda Knuckles, and Otaku. If you want to support me using either of these methods, links are down below. Tomorrow I will be covering the Chinese tournament Pearl 2. But until then, I've been Mr. Mice, and thank you all so much for watching.